Have you ever stopped to think about all the invisible systems out there that keep our world running and running safely? The ones that guarantee our food is safe to eat, that the power grid is stable, and that our health is protected? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain on one of these unseen shields: quality assurance. We're going to dive deep, using the really fascinating case of Uganda, to see how this idea is so much more than just corporate talk. It's actually a blueprint for building a nation. So let me ask you this, straight up. What protects you every single day? And I bet the answer isn't what you think. It's not just about laws and police officers. It's a whole framework of standards, this bedrock of excellence that's working behind the scenes in pretty much every industry you can imagine. So here's how we're going to break it all down in this explainer. First, we'll get a handle on what quality assurance actually is. Then we'll jump into three absolutely critical areas in Uganda: the super high-stakes world of energy, the real public health risks from animal diseases, and the big challenges facing local manufacturers. And finally, we'll see the incredible impact of getting quality right. Okay, let's start with the absolute basics. What in the world are we even talking about when we say quality assurance? And maybe more importantly, who are the folks actually making this stuff happen on the ground? Well, meet the architects of trust. This is the Quality Assurance Standards Institute, or QASI for short. They're a Ugandan firm, and they are right at the heart of our story today. Their whole job is to help different industries, everything from farming to oil and gas, put internationally recognized standards into practice. Think of them like expert coaches, but for safety and excellence. Now, the main tool QSI uses is something called a Quality Management System, or QMS. And don't let the name fool you, the concept is actually pretty straightforward. A QMS is basically the official rulebook. It's the set of policies and step-by-step processes an organization uses to make sure they're delivering a safe, reliable, and high-quality product or service every single time. It's literally the blueprint for building trust. Okay, so let's put this into action with our first case study. We're diving into Uganda's oil and gas sector, a place where, believe me, the stakes could not be any higher. Wow, this quote really says it all, doesn't it? In the oil and gas industry, there is absolutely zero room for error. A single mistake, one leaky valve, one misread gauge, could lead to a massive environmental catastrophe and put countless lives at risk. The pressure to get it right is just immense. So with risks that high, the biggest question has to be, how do you stop that disaster from ever happening in the first place? How do you build a system that is just fundamentally safe right from the very beginning? And here is the answer. By putting a quality management system in place, companies can systematically design risk out of the equation. It's not about just crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. It's about meticulously improving every process, putting staff safety first, and building a culture where everyone is always looking for ways to get better. Quality becomes this active, preventative shield. All right, let's shift gears now. We're moving from industrial safety to public health, where the risks are just as serious but potentially even more widespread. We're talking about the very real threat of diseases that can jump from animals to humans. This warning from the UN's Food and Agricultural Organization is pretty sobering. In a country like Uganda, where people and livestock and wildlife all live so close together, the conditions are kind of perfect for new diseases to pop up and spread like wildfire. This isn't some far-off possibility. It's a clear and present danger to public health. And just to give you a sense of the scale we're talking about here, look at this number. That's just the number of cattle in Uganda. It doesn't even count the millions of goats, sheep, and chickens. Every single one is a potential link in a chain of disease that could spread to people. And if an outbreak does happen, the fallout is just devastating. It's not just the terrible loss of life. It can set off this whole domino effect of crises. Trade gets shut down, crippling the economy. Tourism vanishes, and it can even lead to social unrest. The ripple effects are just enormous. So when you're facing a threat that big, where do you possibly start? What's the absolute first line of defense you can put up to stop an outbreak in its tracks? The answer, it turns out, is in science you can trust. Accredited veterinary labs are that critical first line. Accredited is the key word here. It means these labs follow super strict international standards, so you know their test results are accurate, reliable, and fast. This is how you spot a new disease early, track it, and contain it. It's the absolute foundation of public health surveillance. Okay, for our third and final case, let's turn to the economy. We're going to focus on the local businesses and manufacturers who are really the engine for Uganda's growth. But right away, they face a huge problem. The hard truth is that most new businesses in Uganda just don't survive. That failure rate is incredibly high, and it really holds back economic progress for the whole country. So why? What's going on? Well, when you look at the reasons, a really clear pattern shows up. A lot of them fail because of inconsistent product quality, which makes it impossible to compete. You hear these stories of entire shipments being impounded or businesses being shut down, all because they couldn't meet the required standards. So the question is obvious, right? How do you break that cycle? How do you give these small and medium-sized businesses the tools they need to not just stay afloat, but to actually succeed and grow in a tough market? And here we go again. Quality assurance provides the roadmap. By getting the right technical support and training to implement a quality management system, these businesses completely transform. Their products become consistent and reliable, which builds trust with customers. Their internal operations get more efficient, which saves them money. And all of a sudden, they can compete, not just down the street, but on the world stage. Okay, so let's zoom all the way out now. We've looked at three totally different sectors, but we've seen the exact same powerful idea at work. Let's tie this all together. This chart just lays it out so clearly. In every single case, you have a huge, serious problem: environmental disaster, disease outbreaks, economic failure. And in every single case, a structured, systematic approach to quality provides a real, concrete solution. It's an amazingly powerful and flexible tool for building a stronger nation. But at the end of the day, this isn't about abstract systems or charts. So who really benefits from all this? It's the people. It's the local manufacturer who can finally grow their business and hire their neighbors. It's the vets and lab workers who have the tools to protect their communities. It's the small business owners, the farmers, the food handlers. Everyone, all the way down the line, wins when quality is the foundation. So what this all really shows is that quality isn't just a certificate you hang on a wall. It's not a box-ticking exercise. In a place like Uganda, it's a lifeline. It protects the environment, it guards public health, and it builds prosperity from the ground up. It kind of makes you stop and wonder, doesn't it? What are the invisible systems of quality protecting you in your life, right this very second?